pork tenderloin stuffed with a bit of mince.
Kwanghi, what have we got here now? We've got pork tenderloin, which is a prime cut, and we've got some mince, pork mince here.
Yeah.
Prime
So Tom, my idea was you use a nice prime cut with also a bit of a cheap cut mince on it, you know what I mean? And that will bunk up your portion, you know what I mean? Instead of using a prime cut, because like this is quite expensive.
Yeah.
In a way, it's inexpensive, but for pork, it's quite expensive, you know. And what you want to do is you want to add a bit of extra on there. Yeah. So it looks a bigger piece, like, you know. So what the French kind of normally do is wrap it in caul fat. But today what we're going to do is I'm going to do a bit of mince, and we're going to stuff the pork loin, and then we're going to tie it a small bit with a bit of nut, and then we're going to pan fry the noisette. So beautiful. So here we go.
So you want me to
yeah, so if you want to kind of like fan that out a bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the farce in the middle. So I'm going to make a farce. So this is a same, it's a lean kind of mince, so about 60% and 40% fat, because I want that kind of like a juiciness to go in.
And it's a coarse mince as well, you know, it's still a nice bite to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the exact same process now, what I normally do. So basically I'm going to put a bit of, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a bit of rapeseed oil. Okay, so I have some garlic, and what I've done there, you see the pork kind of binding together again. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to put some salt in here as well. Okay, so salt, black pepper, I have some garlic in here, and a bit of rapeseed oil, just to give a bit of extra shortening. You can see it brightening up there.
Beautiful. Yeah. And that's really adding value to the fillet, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the moisture brightening up.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give these a little few smacks, guys. So.
And you know what? I'm going to throw a bit of thyme in here as well.
Again, very simple. You know, you don't need an awful lot of ingredients. They're just.
So what I'm doing is I'm stuffing the pork mince in the middle of the pork loin, okay? And what happens to this is when you cook it, the fat releases into the prime meat, like, and it keeps it nice and moist.
But it's very easy to portion this. For portion control, it's ideal.
Yeah.
An ideal dish. You take a few noisettes.
Yeah. Look at that. It's beautiful. Wrapped around perfectly.
Beautiful.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my pan on.
And again, what I come the fattiest part, which is not a lot of fat on the pork tenderloin, on the inside. Yeah. So with the mince.
It keeps it nice and moist, yeah. You don't lose any of that.
Exactly. So I'll only do these a very loose little twine.
Yeah, so because basically what happens, the tighter the knot gets, the more it'll squeeze out, because whenever the meat gets in the pan and starts to contract, it starts to squeeze. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook up a small bit of walnuts and a bit of buttered spinach rolls just to go with the pork.
Beautiful.
So I'm also going to get a piece of garlic whole, where I'm going to put it in the pan after.
Just let it infuse with the oil?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm just going to give it a little crack to hold it together.
So will I just cut them into like little 1.5 2 inch?
Yeah, just in between
just to give you an idea.
Yeah, perfect.
That?
Yeah, so basically if you want to, cut there and there. Perfect. So you see they're nice little noisettes. So
really pretty, and they look really well on the plate.
Yeah.
One more for luck, chef. Yeah.
One more for luck. Like you can have these, like if you have, you know, it just bunks up the portion a lot more, you know. And it just makes it so much more worthwhile.
Yeah, it really adds more value to it as well.
Yeah.
Or you could even add some black pudding to that mince as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and tongue, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you want to add like the pork tongue, as they're saying, like if you want to, you know, brine the tongue, chop it up, add in some offal in there as well, you know what I mean?
Bit of an assiette pork.
Yeah, gorgeous. It's beautiful, like, you know, and you can put it in there, you know, and it kind of adds a deep kind of flavour into that, you know what I mean? And yeah. This is going to be very simple as a little garnish. A bit of butter in there.
So looking at it now in the pan, you'd probably get 3 to 4 portions from the one tenderloin as opposed.
Oh, you would, yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 of them noisettes per portion would be beautiful.
And again, what would it? 2 of them for a portion.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can see now, look at that. So
There's a lovely caramelization on the meat there. It's really good.
And you know what? The mince, you wouldn't even think that was
No.
You wouldn't.
in
no.
there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some walnuts, okay? So we're going to just peeled walnuts, crush it up a small bit in there. I used to serve a nice prune juice with the pork as well. Prunes quite nice too. Anything kind of dry fruit or has that bit of sweetness to go really
Prunes,
well
figs.
with pork.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And what you can do, you can stick this in the oven a little bit just to let that cook through. What you want to do is you get that continuous flavour in there, you know, so.
Butter really gives it a lovely glaze.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know,
The nuttiness.
And
is
also
gonna-
like gives it a nice nuttiness kind of flavour, you know, so. And you're going to cook that right through, so I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to throw my little spinach in there. I think,
and that's become very popular because I know where you're Limerick, Tom. Limerick's renowned for its pork. and
Renowned,
ham.
yes.
But like to name drop a farmer,
Absolutely,
you know, quality assured Irish pork
yeah.
from.
It just adds such credibility to the menu as
It
well.
does.
Like.
It does, yeah. And people like the support,
Of course, yeah.
you know.
but I think for most of the consumers that eat now these days, they want to know where the food comes from.
Of course
Yeah.
they do, yeah.
So it's quite natural now to actually
Origin.
name where the origin of your meat
Yeah.
comes from. And you're kind of proud to put it on the menu
course.
because like it's Irish, you know, so.
And again, even from the tourism perspective, you know, you want to be showcasing the best of what we have to offer, you know. But again, if you what that's about half a kilo, that pork fillet. You
Yeah.
put a bit of mince into it. It's bringing it up to not too far from a kilo.
There you go. And you
You're
have
getting
four,
what? Four.
you have four
six.
portions
You're
there.
getting six good portions or eight reasonable.
No, it just shows how much you can add value by just adding a few simple ingredients. But it's about keeping it simple too and not over complicating.
Yeah.
What you can do, we can pop it in the oven a little bit to finish it off if it's not kind of cooked. But because I don't want it, I want it kind of like a medium well.
Okay.
Because obviously you have the mince in the middle and you want to
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
keep
you need to
going.
make sure.
And because like what I'm doing now is I'm kind of roasting it and getting that the salt of the butter in there. You know, it's kind of get that nuttiness. So keep roasting it off there. So you can do this in the oven as well. It's just beautiful.
That should make me hungry again, Chef.
Yeah, the smells.
I'm gonna just let that sit for a minute. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the
Take
take the
twine
string
there.
off, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think we're nearly there. Like how nice is that? Like
Wow.
I say two proportion, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna let that rest for a minute before we cut it. And the resting process is very important because that obviously gives a chance for the meat to kind of relax a bit
Yeah.
as well, like so.
The
And,
juices to settle back into
Let
it.
the muscle fibers contract as well, yeah.
yeah, I love pork fillet in a stir fry. It's just incredible, you know.
And it cooks so easily, so fast.
Yeah. So you see. So I'm gonna serve a bit of. So this is a bit of a spinach and walnuts. Okay. So and what I'm going to do is make a piece of pork on there. What is that? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It looks unbelievable.
Pork tenderloin, stuffed with a bit of mince and served with a bit of walnut and spinach. And it's absolutely delicious, great for restaurant dish.
From one pork fillet there, there's 4, 5 generous portions. How
Yeah,
much is we costing for one pork fillet?
I'd say you'd be looking at worst case the mince. By introducing the mince,
yeah.
it kind of softens the price even
Yeah.
more. So I'd say for the entire pork fillet, including the mince, maximum €7, and then you're getting what, 6?
So it's under €2 a portion.
Yeah, so with three portions, isn't it? You get out of one
Yeah.
piece, like so. Your portion, yeah. So you
Remember
can
that?
charge like yeah. So you can really put that on a main course dish, like you
Yeah,
know, for
absolutely.
over €25, like you know, at least. So guys, I'm just gonna duck in here and taste this dish. But beautiful. This is perfect the way I like it. I like it kind of like just medium. medium well, just still kind of nice and moist, not too over.
Beautiful. Looks good.
It's so tender, and with the mince in the middle, it just keeps the kind of moisture back into the fillet.
It complements each other nearly. Yeah.
But the mince is still, there's a nice bite, like even cutting the mince is, you know, it feels like there's a nice bite to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like traditionally, like a pork loin is kind of known as a dry meat or tough meat, you know. But now it's like you add a little bit of that moisture back in again. You know?
Gorgeous.
So you can also serve it with a nice bit of gravy, or you know,
And of course, yeah.
a bit of jus.
But it just shows how versatile pork is, and so cost effective for every single cut. You know, this being the prime cut, or one of the prime cuts, you can see how many portions you can get from it.
And that you can be creative with it. You know what I mean? You can add a bit of mince there just to stretch it out small bit. You know what I mean? You can just use it as the fillet as it is, or you know, a nice bit of maybe dum and baked prawns or something on the side of that as well, you know, to addition it. So you can add stuff.
Gorgeous.
Be creative with the pork fillet, you know, because it is a prime cut.